Hi everybody, get started already. Shut up, Terrence. How's it going? Hi everyone. Just wanted to mention today or yesterday, 6.5 came out. So if you haven't updated your sites, update your sites. This is what you need to do. What's that? Every time I do this, the music's weird. Let me just check something real quick. I'm quiet. Check. I should be quiet. I'm not quiet at all. You're quiet. Well, now, is this better? Is this better? Is this better? Wait, the mic's, is the mic not, is this better now? I adjusted some levels here. So you need to be even closer. You need to be even closer. I think you need to maybe just turn up the volume on my Yeti a little bit like that. How's that? Is that better? Something going on here. Here. That's better. All right, cool. Weird. I don't know. I was fighting with my audio last time too. What's going on here? Every time I have it set, it seems to be good. The music is quite loud. I feel like you're just messing with me. Oh. Dave Guire, thanks for the resub, friend. All right, let me know if that music's too loud. If it's too loud, I'll just turn it off or something. Okay, cool. Anyways, let's start this over. Terrence, thanks for your help, my friend. Appreciate it. If you haven't updated your WordPress to 6.5, I'll wait for you. Go do it now. Let's look at the credits. Let's see. Is there anyone that we know on here? I'm sure there's a few people. All these. I've heard of this guy. 6.5 has crashed your sites. How has it crashed your sites? Tell me how. What has it done? Like, do you know why it crashed your sites or how it crashed your sites? Because if you do, tell me and we'll figure it out. In the meantime, I'm gonna scoot through these folks, see if there's anyone that you have no clue. Okay. Well, I'm not sure how to help you. Let's see. Okay, let's look through the name here. Oh man, there's so many people. Let's see. Kevin. I know Kevin does stuff. Kevin Batdorf, there he is, right there. How about how about David random errors. Well, share what kind of errors, man? You got to tell me errors. I can't help you if I don't have errors. Oh, there's so many people here. So many people here. This is awesome. Oh, Paul. I know Paul. He's from Toronto. He's an awesome dude. What else? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, there's your boy right there. That's me. That's me. Let's see. I don't know. There's so many people here. I'm trying to scan through, see if I see anybody from the stream. I know Aki's in here. He's got to be in here. Oh, wait. That's the Lup. Isn't that the Lup? Where's he? Let's find out. Ah, that's him. Well done. Let's see. I'm scooting through here. Amber Hines, is in that release? Amber. Yep. There we go. Kev. Hi, Kev. Kev, you're here. We're just going through the release notes of 6.5. Well, not the release notes, but the contributors for 6.5. And we already found you. You're way down here at the bottom. Not because you're not good. Well, maybe. But mostly because your first name starts with K. There it is. Boom. Kevin Batdorf. Have you ever done custom database table stuff? Yes, I have done custom database table stuff. Been working with WordPress for like 20 years. So yeah, no, not 20 years. But yeah, no, I've done stuff. It's pretty rare that you need to do custom database stuff in WordPress. But it would depend on what you're actually trying to do. Yeah, so I'm trying to see if there's anyone else in our little band of thieves here who come hang out with me on Thursdays. See if anyone else is here. Why? Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't know. Well, so far we got the Lup. Is Amber coming out, hang out with us? Maybe. Hope so. And we got need to store large amounts of data. Okay, you're being cryptic. Lay out the problem set, my friend, and we can help you. Otherwise, quit interrupting me while I'm talking. Okay. What was that? Was that my phone? That was my phone. Okay, anyways, there's so many good, awesome, smart, wicked people that are a part of this release that, yeah, I don't know. Cool. Well, that's a large amount of data, yeah. Have you considered? Yeah, I mean, you could probably all put that into various, like you may not need to have a custom table for that. Show the template and perform data calculations. I need custom fields to minutes of data. Yeah. And then show in the templates and perform data calculations. Yeah, I mean, you can do all that with custom fields. You just would need to associate it with something. I mean, you could also do term meta, and do it that way. It really depends on how you want to slice and dice this stuff. My personal store calories, activities, sleep, check-ins. It depending on what you're like, is this on the front end? Like you could write custom. I mean, if you're getting into custom databases, then you're going to be writing custom SQL anyways. And so you could write custom SQL, you know, you have 5,000 plus posts currently. Well, the thing about custom tables is that like the posts are like, the database layer is optimized to be able to do, for caching and stuff. Like if you got that many posts, you're going to be, and you're trying to do custom tables, you have to really make sure that you're caching everything very, very, very efficiently, right? So just really depends on where you want to do the work. And with those kind of data points, you could even use like something like Firebase, or what's that other one, Supabase or something like that, and offload that stuff up there, and then just attach it to a post or a day. Like, I don't know how you're connecting all of your data. That's too complex for you. But writing, I'm a little PHP noob. Well, that's why I suggested like Supabase or something, because it's not PHP. Well, that's the thing. If you're going to write a custom table, then your table, you need to make sure that when you query those tables with your custom your custom import like Strava. Okay. If you're using a custom table, you're going to need custom SQL, which means you'll have to cache the results of that stuff to make sure that you're not doing these really heavy queries all the time. You might be able to slice and dice your data and fit it into the post and post meta model. That's pretty complicated stuff with just standard posts and everything. Like when I was at 10up, we did really complicated data and we didn't use custom tables. I don't think I ever used custom tables. They're just yeah, like I'm not saying don't do it, except don't do it. Cool. Well, okay. So, anyways, props to all the folks that got props on 6.5. Like I said, if you haven't, go and update it right now. This is all the interactivity API goodness. This is block bindings API, all kinds of good stuff that's baked in. No, thank you for the props, Kev. Thank you for your time and your code skills. I didn't give you props, whatever. You did the work. Cool. All right. So last week we did. Oh, by the way, did everyone see my April Fool's video? I hope you did, because I had a really good time putting that together. If I can only store one data point per row per post in the post meta table, isn't that worse for querying than one row per post with custom fields for columns? So you're going to store one. Let's say that you're going to do this all based around a day. I'm just using this as an example, but your post is going to be like the day, so it's today, whatever, right? And then you're going to associate post meta for each one of like with that day. So you're really going to be saying, give me all the post meta that's associated to a post ID. That's really what you're going to be getting here, right? So you can store as much or as little post meta as you want. It doesn't matter. There's a specific separate table for that. So you're just going to say get post meta, post ID, and you're going to get everything for it. You might have to loop through it. You know, you might have, like, there's some other things that you can do. And on the front end, if this is a JavaScript front end, you can create a REST endpoint that will just return all the data that you want. And then you don't even need to worry about all that, right? So the thing is, meta queries are expensive, but if you say, this is the day I want, and give me all the post meta for that, you're not technically querying by post meta. Yeah, but you're not querying by post meta is what I'm saying. You're saying, give me all the post meta for. It's different than saying, give me all the posts that have post meta X. That's a different way of approaching that, right? And even post meta, there are some ways that you can increase the performance of your queries. I'd highly recommend reading this. These ones in particular are going to be very, very, very positive. So each activity, sleep, check-ins is a unique post type. Okay, and so are they connected to each other in any way? Fast to get all the... Kevin's saying fast to get all posts by date range, then loop PHP to make individual queries for the post meta. Yes. No, you're right, Kev. But my point is, if you're saying, I want this post, give me all the post meta for that post, that's not a very expensive query. If you're saying, give me all the posts that have a post meta of whatever, then that is more expensive. No, they just output one mixed query loop on the home page. One mixed query loop on the home page. Okay, so then you have, so your, what is it? So your activity, for example, has got, you have a post type in that activity. You have a post for each time you create a new activity, whatever that is. I feel like you can do this with the post table, most likely, because you're already doing it. Okay, so then, yeah, okay. So you're really only saying, so how are you querying? I'm not sure. Kevin is right. How does activity, sleep, check-ins, how do those three post types relate to each other, or do they? Do you have it, is it based on like today I have this many check-ins, this much sleep, and this many whatever the other one was, and these activities? Is that what you're doing? I use date query. Oh, okay. Let's see what let's see what Taylor did on October 9th, 2023. All right, so using a date query. So this is going to retrieve all posts by that date, and then it's going to, you're going to spit out the stuff that you've done, right? Okay, cool. I don't think you need a custom table for this. All post, small post type for that particular date. Cool. So why do you think you need a custom table? I'm waiting. I like your website, Eric. Do it for fun. Yeah, I mean, I've used custom tables in the past. Sometimes I wanted to create stats pages like X number of coffees drunk in the past year. Oh, I see what you're saying. So do what Kevin's talking about. Do a date query, right? Do a date query. Like get all posts from date X to date Y, and then loop through them all and retrieve that particular piece of post meta and then just increment. Like that's what I would probably do, right? Like assuming there's a piece of post meta or there's some way of saying I had a coffee on that day that's associated with each post within that date range, you'll be able to do that pretty efficiently, and then cache it. Cache. You're going to want to use the caching layer for it. So you can use the transient API in WordPress, which is wicked awesome, right? Yeah, transient. So okay, all right. I'm taking my sword off because we're gonna talk here. So the transient API. Now, let me ask you this: do you have anything like like Mcached or Mcached or whatever you call it, or Redis or any of that stuff, running on your server? Because if you are, then you can just use the caching layer. If you aren't, you can use the transient API. Basically, the transient API allows you to save it. It saves it as an option, but that's what you're going to want to do. You're going to make this query for the full date range. Statically caches the entire thing. Okay, so that's fine. So you're going to, so what you're going to do is when you run that query, you're going to want to make sure it's cached because it's an expensive query. You're saying give me all the posts between a year from today or whatever it is, right? You want to cache that and just hold it in cache for as long as possible. Yeah. No, that's static caching is awesome. It's a great way. It's called full page caching. It's a fantastic way of doing it. So you could do that. So, but in the what you're trying to do is if you're dynamically generating these reports, these queries, like show me how many copies I had from today to a year back, those are gonna be more dynamic, right? But you can still cache those. You run it one time, it's expensive, then you cache it for a year, right? Because it'll be today's date. Yeah. So then you can use the transient API to do that. Let me show you. Do they have a good example here? Yeah, something like this. So what you're going to do is you're going to do get transient, and this will be whatever key you want to call, right? And then basically if it returns false, then you're going to run it. Otherwise, the value will be stored in here, and you can just output that value. So it's yeah. When you're using set transient, always set the expiry. The third parameter is the expiry. The reason you have to do that is because if you are not using like a caching layer on your server, like I said, like mcached or Redis or any of that stuff, it will actually save it in the options table, which is fine, except it being the transient API will save this cache thing in your options table. But if you don't set a expiry, it will set it to auto load that option on every single page, which is not what you want at all. And that's actually going to make it worse, right? Especially if you have 365 of these queries that need to be loaded. So always set this, unless you want it auto loaded, but you're going to want to make sure that you do that. Yeah. Now, if you're doing this, you might get into some static caching issues because you have caches and caches and caches. You got caches on caches on caches. So what you need to make sure is that when you cache, that it's the cached thing you want, because these are probably going to be generated, at runtime. You may want to just bypass the full page caching for that particular thing. But yeah, and then you don't need to actually ever delete these, because when this expires, it will basically be deleted some point after the expiry. Yeah, but always set your expiry. And if you need it for a long time, set it for a long time. It doesn't really matter. Yeah. And you can also use the transient API. I appreciate you, Taylor, coming, sharing your knowledge and your spinny face. The other thing, what was I going to say? Oh, you can cache full HTML blocks too. So let's say that you had this thing, I don't know, or this. You could have, you could generate this as markup and then cache the entire thing. And then the next time that this page loads, you don't have to do anything. It just will render. So you can cache HTML as well. We used to do that all the time. When I was working at 10 Up, I got to put my sweater back on because I got chilled. Because I'm an old man. I used to do a lot of work with WordPress.com VIP, as a 10 Up as a partner, and we would have to cache a lot of HTML, because if you have to generate big chunks of HTML, just cache it, right? Especially if it's not going to be updated often, it just makes it that much faster. You don't have to worry about it. Number of transients yes, if they're all auto loading, but not really. So the thing is, if you have, I keep saying this, but if you have a caching layer running on your server, now usually you will have some kind of drop-in cache, right? What's a good? You'll usually have it's called like a drop-in plugin. Let's see if I can find a good example of it here. I don't know. So you're gonna use a drop-in plugin. So this advanced cache thing, you've probably seen that before, right? Yeah. If it's a huge chunk of data, it could be a problem. But if you're using caching layer like Redis, mcached, all that sort of stuff, this advanced caching thing, it's going to cache that in memory provided by the caching layer, right? So in the case of Redis, it'll be a server, right? That's just sitting there, and you'll just retrieve it. So it won't have any effect. It will not, that's the point. It's fast in memory cache, right? Super fast. Where it becomes a problem is if you have 1,000 transients that are all auto loading and they all have huge amounts of data, that's going to actually slow down your site because you are pulling a million options. for every page load. So that's why I'm saying make sure that you always set an expiry for Transient's API. And another way that you can speed up your queries is to follow these particular values. This is very, very cool stuff. So I can do the same post and update certain areas of my site for things. Yes, absolutely. We used to do that all the time. I don't know if the save post function is the right. There was a hook that was like the save post action. And sometimes that really expensive stuff, we would say when you save that post, we will prime that cache. That's what the process is called. So if we had a really expensive query that was like a term query with post meta, crazy stuff going on to build out some kind of crazy interface, when we saved it on the back end, that's when we would prime that cache. We would basically rebuild whatever that thing was and cache it then. And then, so when someone on the front end hits it, there's not that hit for that initial, that one person or whatever. So you can absolutely do that. This is a very, very powerful way of speeding up your queries. If you don't need pagination, pass that, because there's a bunch of joins that happen, right? And we don't need that stuff. If you're only using the fields, if you're only using IDs, which is pretty common, like in your case, you're going to say, give me all the post meta for something. So you don't need the post content. You don't need the whatever else, right? So just use the field ID. So that's going to return just a list of IDs instead of the whole post object. These are pretty good too. But the two that I use a lot or used a lot would be these ones. And it really depends on what you're doing. But yeah, anyways, 10 best practices is a good place to go learn some of this stuff. Yeah, you could have some kind of side effect running when your page is saved. Exactly how I would handle it. Okay, good talk. Good talk, Taylor. Turns. Okay, so I figured out what the problem was. With this. If you remember last week, I was fighting through. Let me just get all this stuff closed. I just actually released a new version of AQL. It does a couple of cool things. They're bug releases. They're bug fixes. Basically, we had a search parameter causing an incorrect template to load. But saving calculation based on other post meta is a bad idea. No, not. Hold on. Back it up. What? Saving a calculation result from other post meta is a bad idea. Why is it a bad idea? In case the post meta is stale, is that what you mean? Oh, I see. Yeah. So you're saying is it a bad idea? Well, I believe we look at where's the source? Return update meta. We gotta look at update meta. Metadata. Update metadata. It's not a bad idea because you can hook into that if you need to. So there's an action here, right? Update metadata. Yeah. So there are hooks that you can use, right? Let me see if I can show you the example here. So this is the underlying function. So when you update metadata, this gets called under the hood, right? So update post meta calls update metadata. Inside of update metadata, we've got a couple of hooks. So there's a filter here. You would probably want to run it on whatever action. So this one, update meta type meta, right? Yeah, that's a good point, Kevin. I think it's less about the math and more about getting the data that will be used, like getting the information that will querying for the post and data and stuff that will then be doing the math. But if you're concerned about building stuff, what you can do is there's a bunch of hooks that you can fire off. So like for example, updated post meta, you'll get the meta ID, the object ID, meta key, all this sort of stuff. So you can check and see if that's run. If that is run, then you can re-prime that cache if you need to. This is very specific to what you're trying to do. So I mean, there's a number of hooks in this function that you can tie into on the PHP side to reprime that stuff. But you're right. Like if you're just doing like a bunch of math, your server will do it quickly. But if you have to do a very expensive query, say I want to add all calories ever, instead of looping over every food for each day and adding them together, saving the day's calories and then just adding the sum total is better. Yeah, what you could do is have a process that runs that calculates all that stuff and saves it as post meta, because once the day's done, in this particular case, once the day is over, you won't be adding more calories to it. So what you could do is at the end of the day, have a cron that runs at the end of the day and takes today's date and calculates all the calories for it, and then saves a piece of post meta that's like total calories, right? You can do something like that, because you don't need to worry about, like, once the day's over, you're not adding more calories to it, right? In that specific case. So then you have one number. So that then you can say, I want to know how many calories I did in the past date range. It's date range of posts and one piece of post meta, right? So you can just say, give me all posts. So your query would be something like this. I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna plunk it in here. So you can do something like query. I'm gonna move this microphone. Query. It's gonna be an array, right? And then you say new. You say post is new WP. Oh my god, WP. Query, and then we'll go query. Something like that. And then what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna say no found rows. Found rows, right, is true, because we don't want pagination. We want all the things, right? And then we'll say fields. Wait, Lord, Ryan. Fields is going to be IDs, right? And then it'll be a date range. I can never remember any of this stuff, right? So query, we're going to want to use some kind of date range. Where's the, we're going to want to use date parameters, right? So you do a date query. So here's an example of a date query. For this week, so you can do something like this. That's weird. I like that. This is horribly formatted. My God. Okay, that's something like this, right? So you're gonna want to do something like that. So you have a date query. It's an array of an array. It's of arrays on stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks type thing, you know. And this is yelling at me like crazy. So basically, you're gonna want to have like date query year, week, whatever, right, for this week, and then. Yeah, shut up. Okay. So that's roughly what you're going to want to do, something along these lines, right? And then you'll loop through it. You can go like, whatever. If posts, is it have post, right? We're going to do that. Then we're going to go for each posts as post, right? And do a little counter, but already 0. Then you can go like this now, because this is going to be just an ID, right? So you're going to want to go, you're going to do something like this. You're going to do like totals equals get post meta. We're going to go post ID, and the key is going to be you probably have to do it like you probably have to do a loop of something, right? So single post. So I don't know what your keys are, but let's say each one of your things is like, I don't know, how are you doing this? So let's say you calories, right? Trues. Is your calorie post meta, is that like one thing, or is it a big array? Anyways, it doesn't matter. And then you're going to go counter plus equals to totals. This is horrible code. Totals. And then at the end of this, you're going to say add most meta, post meta counter. And you call it like total calories, something like that. That's what you're going to want to do, right? And then you can attach that to a cron. Custom query, PSP message, faster. Yeah, so you could do that too. I don't know what I don't know what this looks like. You're gonna have to write custom. You're gonna have to write a custom HTML, SQL to do it though. But if you were to do it with PHP, you could run that. It would run once a day, and then it's just cached, right? Like select average count. Yeah. So you're gonna need to, but you just be careful because when you're running custom SQL, you have to make sure it's all being escaped and all that stuff, right? There's a bunch of ways of doing that. I'm gonna delete this crappy code right now, and I'm gonna reset that. I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of my changes here. Scratch changes. All right. I should know better than to try to write code in this stream because Kevin is just like, no, don't do that. That's garbage, dude. Do this. You're dumb. You're a dumb man, Ryan. He told me that once in person. Broke my heart. Broke my heart. Okay. Now, anyways, what I was going to talk about here was I figured out the problem. So, if you remember, we were having issues with the playground. Where is this? So when we're running testing this preview, it was breaking. It would just get to this point and then it would be like, oh, what? And it would die. We'd get an error that said something like, you can't edit a post that doesn't exist. And it was really weird. So I was able to figure out two things. First thing was it's doing it again. You stupid. Okay. So the first thing that we want to figure out is in our console, which I'm going to zoom into. We want to make sure we have verbose set. Okay. And so now we can kind of see what's going on. What did it try to load? Okay, so this is trying to set post 60. Now let's go in here. I swear I had fixed this, but maybe not. We're gonna go into plugins. And okay, so it did work. So now, the issue that we were having before was that my custom plugin code, which is in CPT demo, which really just all it's doing is it's registering a post type and some post meta. It wasn't being added. And the reason why it wasn't being added was because in our blueprint, we were installing our plugin, and then I was trying to write this file, which is a really, really cool way of adding stuff. But it makes a lot more sense now because I didn't have the directory. The directory didn't exist that I was trying to write into. So I was trying to write into CPTS, which didn't exist, and that was what was failing, which then made it so I couldn't activate the plugin, and then this would die, and then the import file wouldn't happen. Or the import content step wouldn't happen. So let's look and see. Do I have? Okay, so I have all this. So what post is this? So this is okay. So up here, I'm my landing page is post 60 in edit. Now I've just seen that this is the one that I wanted to come in on, but this is actually post 57. So we're going to change that back to 57, and then. Actually, we can demo this. Close this, and close this, and what's this? I'm gonna go playground.net, and then I'm just gonna pass the blueprint URL to my. So this is just the raw URL to my blueprint that's in the repository for this. So you can see it's trying to land on post 60, which doesn't exist. Anyways, so I'm gonna push that change up. I just changed. You can just see I just changed from 60 to 57. Update the land on the correct post. Correct post. Boom. This thing changes. Wait till I get live. We ran into some caching stuff here before too. Where's my GitHub? There it is. So let's see. So that's the right one. So if I open the raw, I'm still getting that. Oh, parse raw. All right. I think there's a caching thing there because we know that's right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just update this in my assets in my SVN. I'm going to push it up there, and that should fix it. So let's see. So this should be 57 here because we know that's the one. And then inside of here, I just got this set up locally here. SVN status. Okay, so I'm going to go SVN commit. The message is going to be load the correct post ID. We'll do that. Oops, do that, and then it's going to go up. We'll get that done. Oh, chat just died right off when we're not helping Terrence. It's good. It's good. You guys are awesome. Is anyone as excited for WordCamp Canada as I am? Because I'm very excited for WordCamp Canada. 306 4080. That's the same one. It's not up there yet. Which audio? Audio seems low again. Check. What's going on with this? You'll turn the gain up. Give me a second here. Is that any better? How's that? Is that better? It's just annoying is what's happening here. Okay, that looks like a different one. So this, is it working? Is it working? It looks like, oh, it's working. Okay, cool. So that pushed that up. So now we've got this stuff. If I select my advanced query loop, we should also be able to see where we should see. We have a streams post. Hey, the LUP's here, everyone. The LUP's here. Awesome, the LUP. I was just going through the 6.5 props, and you were in there. You got props for 6.5. So congratulations, my friend. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, okay, so now that I'm in here, what I think I want to do is I'll leave the site. I'm going to go into streams, and I want to generate some streams. Because what do we want to do here? We want to be able to demo post meta stuff, I guess, right? Or what's the best way to demo this? Like, I'm not sure what I want to do here. Do I need this streams? I need some help, chat. Tell me what makes the most sense. So if you come here and you press test preview, and I've got a buttload of posts in there that are available. Oh, right, here we go. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. So we should be able to demo the majority of things in here. Like, do I need to do a date query? Like, I don't know if I want to do date relationship, like before today or after. When are all these posts? This isn't working. Why isn't this working? I have a bunch of posts, don't I? Yeah, leave site. Come on. Oh no, what have I done? Did I just break something? Let's see. Let's see. Oh no. Request timeout. That was weird. Okay. Let's see what that's all about. Error request timeout. Okay. Okay, so that's working. I don't think this has anything to do with what I'm doing. So we're gonna say before. Whoa, what's this? Oh, this is because my plugin's crappy. Oh, what's this? Undefined array key inclusive, and then undefined primary. Make time. Oh. Hold on. Let me check something here. I think this is a PHP 8 issue, which I need to fix. So let's see. Hey, hey, P. Georgiev. The Lup. Hello. Let's see. All right. I think somebody actually, I think there's actually a thing for this. So let's go before. Nope. Some still breaking there. Why is it still PHP 8? This should not be PHP 8. 7.4. Okay, well, clearly I need to fix some crap. Okay. All right, well, that's actually an issue with my plugin. Clearly there's some stuff going on with PHP 8 that I need to fix. Okay, well, that's good to know. I'm glad we got that figured out. So in the meantime, I think maybe I need to fix that. It seems like a thing I should be fixing. Let me just see. What version of PHP am I running on here? How is this not working? That's super weird. No, we're off on a tangent, friends. Watch me fix bad PHP errors. Let's see here. Well, I'd say they're reproducible, all right. Okay, so console. Okay. All right, let's do a little fix. Oh, you know what? There might actually be. I think there's a pull request for this. Let's go. Let's take a look. Let's do that. Let's look at the pull requests. Make date query more robust on PHP 8. Let's see. Let's see what that is. Doing some null stuff. Okay, well, I guess I could just merge it, pull it down, and give it a test. It's funny, I've never figured out how to test it. You know what, I'm just going to merge it, and then I'll revert it if I need to. Okay, let's give it a try. YOLO merge, you know it. It looked all right to me. It was just a bunch of adding a bunch of null coalescing stuff. If I wasn't doing it right, which I was not doing it right to begin with, so I'll fix that. So before, oh, look at that. Yeah, XZ style. Yeah, that seems to be working. All right, include. Okay, that's great. I think we're gonna just do that. I think I'm just gonna do that. Yeah. No, it's not a YOLO merge. It's all right. It's not. If you really look at the changes, what they're doing, there's some white space changes, but they're just basically, they're null coalescing these values to null and then just checking to make sure that they're not undefined when we're trying to use them. So that's fine. I'm okay with it. So like, you know, if date query and thing, then do a thing. So we're going to do that. Okay. So I'm going to actually just do a quick release on this so you can watch me do a release. Because I want to do a release. Okay, so what did I just do? All right, so I need to, in my index.php, I'm going to bump it up to 2.1.3 package JSON, and I know I can npm patch, version patch this, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna set the stable tag to 2.1.3. This should be all I have to do. In here, I'm going to do my release notes of basically this. I hate that thing. Get out of here. 2, 3. Fixes issues in a PHP 8 and the date query. The date, query. And I gotta get this due props, and I don't remember the person's name, so I'm gonna go take a look there. Props. Props is somebody. Let's go take a look. Who is this? Who this? Crocodoc. I like it. Props Crocodoc. And we'll do that. Okay, so that's it. That's it. And anything else I have to do? This is a real manual process that I like, but it's kind of therapeutic for me. So in my SVN, I have it here. So what I'm going to do now is I've got that all built. I'm going to say I have a release command npm run release, right? And it's going to build that. What it's going to do is it's going to generate this advanced query loop plugin for me. This zip, which I will just go into. So I'm using the command that I'm actually using to do that is provided by the scripts package. It's this run plugin zip, or the plugin zip thing, and it uses the package JSON to tell it what files should be built in there. The only thing I don't like is that it has to, but it includes the package JSON, which I just do not need. So then I copy all that stuff in the Then I copy all this stuff in the trunk. Replace it all, and I know I can do this in a different way, but I don't want to. And I'm going to put trunk into tags and go down to the bottom and change trunk to 2.1.3. Bam, hit it, go. SVN status over here. You can see I've got, that I don't need. This can go away. SVN status, and I've got just my new tag, and I basically just modified the query loop PHP, which is the modifications, the index and the README, which is like basically the version numbers, right? So the SVN commit again, and I'm gonna go release version 2.1.3. Hit it. And big thanks to Crocodoc for fixing that for me. This is pretty awesome. And so you should see this now. Take a minute or two. Did I forget to update something? Did I forget to do something? I do this all the time. I always forget something. Look. The version number is not in there. The version number is in here, 2.1.3. It's also in here, 2.1.3. It's in package JSON, which doesn't really matter so much for the release. That should be everything. So let me just refresh. There it is. Okay, so you can see I got a new version bumped up there. So now let's leave this site. I'm gonna test the preview again. And that's working. Let's check and make sure the date query is working before. Is it the same issue? Oh, that's weird. Gonna look in there and see. This is what I just downloaded. Oh, no, sorry, it's not that one. So it's 2.13. Huh. Well, maybe we'll just try it again. That's strange because it's working fine over here. Caches might just need to be updated or something. I guess the other option is I can actually put a version number specifically in there, right? Right? I think. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Let's just see. Oh, is that a different? Hold on. What's the 4040? Looking at the so there's a. This is interesting. There's actually a revision number associated with each time I click on that. It's always the cache, yeah. And so this revision number 306-40808, which you probably can't read, is matches this one now. So that I'm hoping is gonna pull in the appropriate doodattery. It's annoying. It's annoying that this isn't working for me. I'm gonna leave this site. I'm going to maybe kill this page and this page, and because this is working. This is working. And I'm gonna just wait. What was I doing here? I'm just gonna reload the whole thing. Maybe the zip hasn't been generated yet. Yeah, probably. Because these downloaded zips, like they're generated, they're generated, right? So if you go to, I think it's what's the development, can you download advanced view, I think. What's advanced? Oh, advanced view. Probably just needs a second to get caught up. So this is not, it still doesn't have the ability to download that. 2.3 dev browse code. Where you seeing that? Yeah, there it is. Browse code. I'm almost positive that code's up there, but let's look. Let's look. We'll go into tags. Too many requests. Huh. That's not there. Okay, that's weird. Okay, so it's in there. But oh my god, SVN status. Did I do what I think I did? I'm an idiot. SVN add. I didn't add the tag. I hate SVN. SVN commit. Actually add the tag. All right, let's try that again. Yeah, that'll do it every single time. Every single time. So let's let's get that updated. Oh, that's embarrassing. Okay. Looks like something was added. There we go. 2.1.3. Okay. All right, I'm gonna give that a second. Jeez, thanks for fighting through that with me, folks. Yeah, it's not there. I didn't add it. SVN add it. In my brain, I thought I did, but clearly it's on. It's being recorded, so. Let's see. But there we go. It's working now. Awesome. Awesome. Well, Crocodoc, this is a fantastic name. Use that 10-up workflow. I'll give you a 10-up workflow. 5, 10. That's something I'd say to my 8-year-old. Oh, Lord. Okay, that's funny. Have you heard of 10 Up? They're pretty good. I have heard of 10 Up. I don't think they'd ever hire me, though. I just don't think I've got what it takes to work there. You know, I don't. Oh, Lord. Now there's like all this visual record of just how garbage I am. Okay, so cool. So we got that. So let's do order. We can do order by title. We can go ascending. So you can actually play through all this stuff, which I kind of like. Oh, let's see. Oh, look at that. Exclude current post. That's what I'm happy about. Author? That's silly. That's silly. That's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. Okay. All right. So this is probably a pretty good demo. Do you think? Do we need? Do I need streams? Do I need to add this other post type? I guess. It says the. Have you heard? It says the 8. It says the automatic one. What? What are you talking about? Different caliber. Who's a different caliber? Anyway, did I miss a chat in there? Yeah, I used to work at 10 Up. Then they got rid of me. Well, I don't know if my chat's delayed or what. Okay, so what do you think? Do you think we should do some? Do you think I like we're probably going to want to do some kind of post query thing, right? Or meta query? Like there's no meta query in here. Like I have no meta associated with any of this stuff. Unless I generate a bunch of meta. Like if I go into this post, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, I'm getting pretty happy with this, I have to say. If I go into streams, I go I'll just like add a new stream. And what do I have for genre? Stream thumbnail? What's genre? What the hell's that? Did I register something with genre in there? What is this? Oh. Yeah, I did. This is weird. Post my notes to. Okay, so where's my. Oh! The preferences panel, like here? This thing? I don't know if you can. I don't think you can. That's an excellent question. Let's see if we can figure that out. I always go to the same pull request because it's always cached or whatever. Where would that be? Oh, not there. Get out of here. I'm just trying to see if there's a slot in there, maybe, or a filter, but I'm not really sure. So let's go preferences. Preferences. I spelled that right. I didn't spell it right. Here's the preferences modal. Okay, so that's the function, or that's the modal part. So what I need. Oh, so you looked. I just didn't know if it was where it's been implemented. That's a word. Implemented. Preferences modal. Preferences private APIs. I'm gonna say probably not. I don't remember hearing anything in there. Edit site. What's in here? Edit site, more menu index. Header edit mode. So this is, okay, so it's just a modal that's put, so preferences modal. Okay, so what, I gotta get, come out, in here, preferences modal, index. I think we're looking at the same thing, right? Slots are the modern day hooks. Sort of, yeah. They're kind of like, more like actions. Or sorry, yeah, more like, yes, they're hooks, kind of, but they're more like actions than filters, if you think of it that way. Preferences modal is active. Yeah, I don't see anything that's in there. So the actual preferences modal component, where is that from? That's from the unlock editor private APIs. Yeah, I don't think there's any way of getting in there. Because everything's been moved into well, okay. So why don't you do your own? Why don't you roll your own modal? There's no reason why you couldn't do something like that. I was just working on. I just did something like that. Where, so like, if you were to do, hold on. Like if you were to, where am I? Like if you were to come in here, right, and you were to do color, what, like there's nothing stopping you from doing something like this, or even something more robust, where you open up your entire modal, right? That's a big thing right now, as we're trying to figure out ways to do alternate UIs that are a little bit better, because these, you're right. Like if you look at something like, the advanced query loop, my AQL block, right? Like there's a lot of stuff in here, right? You can compartmentalize it a little bit, right? But there's a lot of things. So you could, if you wanted to, start doing this kind of stuff. Start using the sort of the prior art that Core provides to extend your own things. And this is just what do they call this? This is just like it's a modal. It's a popover modal. Same idea, right? You can make it as big or small as you want. You have to add some CSS to it, but you can do all that stuff. Oh yeah, it's very, very crowded. If you have, there are plugins that you can put up top that will open up and everything, but yeah, I mean, it'd be really cool to see some different examples. Let's put it that way. Okay, so I am now in decision paralysis around whether or not I want to do anything with post meta. I feel like I'm not going to do anything with post meta right now. I feel like I'm not going to include this plugin, and I'm just going to load the demo content, and people can do what they want, right? Like if I'm in, delete that. I edit this, go in here and turn on the custom. Where's the custom fields? Yeah, you could do whatever you want with that and do a query, I guess. Test field, test. Add query meta. So you could do that and test that stuff out. That's weird. How would that be? Anyways, I don't know. What do you think? Well, I was working on it. I was thinking of something general that would fit on the MVCU. Yeah. I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't do some things like you could have a button that opens up your stuff. You could put it like in here somewhere. You could use a slot to target things. Like there's a slot that sits right in under here, I think. That you could have. You click that, it opens up your modal, right? Or you can use the command palette. Like that might be a really cool way of doing that, because you can do what? You can open the preferences, right? Not that. Sorry. Oh my god. Like you can toggle open the preferences yourself. So you know, I think the command palette's a really good way of doing it. Yeah, yeah. Don't worry, my printer hasn't worked since 1982. The dot matrix printer. No one wants to hear that. All right, I'm thinking I might just, for the sake of this, I might actually just scrap this whole CPT stuff for now, and do it this way, and then that's what I think I might do, because I don't think I need all that. So SVN status. Okay, we're gonna say SVN. So here's what confused me about that. Not confused me, but I forgot. When you don't have to stage your changes; they're automatically staged. And so I didn't get in the habit of adding things. Like in Git, you have to add stuff, right? So SVN commit, because this file's already in version control. It just when you make a change, it's ready to be staged. Remove. Install plugin steps from Blueprint. Now I'm going to keep them in my other one there. So, and then it's going to commit. It's going to go up. And then that's done. Close that down. Yeah, I'm going to close that down. But it is modified. Shouldn't you add it? No, you don't need to. If you're it's so with Git, you put a file in, it becomes untracked, right? It doesn't exist. When you add it, it's part of your Git, but then when you make a change, there's also like those changes haven't been staged yet. So like with Git, you stage things, and then you commit the things that have been staged to your branch or whatever. With SVN, it doesn't seem to work like that. As soon as you add something to SVN, it's automatically ready. So you don't need to. There's no like middle step of adding your changes. But if you introduce new files, you have to add them, and that's this thing I didn't do. It's weird. And SVN, I don't know. Have you ever tried to handle merge conflicts in SVN? Sweet Jesus, sweet Jeebus. Not something I want to do ever. No thanks. No thanks. Yeah, basically. A revision is like, yeah, it's fundamentally different than the way that Git approaches things. And that's why it's so hard to do like merge conflict. Like I used to use SVN a lot in a previous job, and it's because we had a free SVN server with our hosting or something, and it just became a place to like just put final code just like as a backup. It wasn't really, we didn't develop with it. We didn't like cut branches and then merge our stuff together because it was just way too redonkulous, to be honest. Redonkulous is a word. I don't care what you say. Yeah, okay, sweet. So here we go. That's done. Okay, so now that I'm happy with this, I'm going to dismiss that. Now what I have to do, so I have this test preview, but now only I can see this. But is it developers? No, it's in advanced. In the advanced view, part of it, yeah. I don't think anybody. Yeah. Anyways, so once you've set up your blueprint, you got to scroll all the way down here to the danger zone. You got to take the highway to the danger zone. And scroll down the bottom, and then there's like this toggle left preview. So there's it's opt-in. You have to add the blueprint, but you also have to say, please toggle the live thingy-mabob. This will enable that for that. Now, y'all should be able to go here and go to my plugin and right here and immediately download it and get that number up. Get that number up, yo. I'm just going to go to incognito window. Now we should have a live preview on here, and it looks like we do. And things should be working. And my Discord is apparently disconnected from all of this. So that is that. Let's make sure this works. That's super slow. spilling stuff all over my face. And now I think what I might do is take this blueprint, actually, because we were talking about, I think I was talking about into examples. Don't I have a? I think there's something in here. So we could add it as an example in this repo. He's got an issue here where he's got like add initial 10 blueprints, and we could probably add some stuff. Install. We could just donate this over there, which is it's like the most basic blueprint ever. So this is just basically activating a plugin and retrieving, importing demo content, which I don't think they have in there. So they got that. That's okay. Let's add this. I'm just gonna maybe. Okay, this is gonna be import, activate. Oh boy. What do you call this? Okay, so this is the example used for a plugin. All right, so we've added that. Gosh, look around. There's a lot of really cool things that you can do with it. Like there's just a lot of stuff that you can do. And I'm gonna start using it a lot more. I'm gonna start using it to demo things. Like like for the advanced query loop repo. Like if I would love to put one on here, and I can. It's very simple, right? You just plunk it in, and there's a click, but and you head over there. So if anybody here has plugins, I would love to see the examples that you have set up for for your plugin. Like Kev, I know it'd be really cool to see one that you did for the CodeBlock Pro and stuff like that. That'd be very cool. All right, Flex perception. What did Flex do? What's this? Oh, Flex. Flex has got code for me. What's this? Code for Ryan Welch's live stream. Oh, apparently I work for Flex now. Some steps are incomplete or incorrect on purpose. The goal is to work through this in real time, show how the program works, and demonstrate how the plugin. Oh, this is cool. Did you send me this already there, Flex? Oh, this is great. I'm gonna read through this, and I still gotta review the oh, what's this? What is this? There's an extension for Playground. Oh, I think I have that. Is that to open up a? Yeah, I think I was running that at one point. Very cool. All right. Oh wait, sorry. Activate plugin. Create a directory. It opens a plugin to theme in the Playground essentially. Yeah, I was using that for a little while, but it was doing some weird stuff for me. But I haven't tried it in a while. So, cool. All right, I'm gonna play through that probably offline a little bit, and then we'll come back to it. But this is really cool. I have used that extension in the past, and it's quick for like quick demos. It's really nice. I'm gonna snap my fingers and say snappy. All right, let's look at Gutenberg 18.0. Let's just do it. We'll do it together. We'll have fun. It'll be a great time. Let's see, plugins. I gotta just make sure my plugins are up to date. I have an off-topic Gutenberg question. Oh, if Kevin has a question, I won't know the answer. Fire away, brother. What you got? What you got for me? What you got for me? It's a perfect time to transition into this. So, what do you have? I'm gonna pull this over here. Kevin, what's your question? This is a situation where I'd like to say, don't ask if you can ask, just ask. I use registered block type in the init hook, but that loads scripts on every admin page, not just where the blocks are. No. Oh, no, not because you wouldn't. Oh. What specifically scripts are you? Yeah, because you. Oh. And the site editor gives us to see it. I use register block type in the init hook. That is the correct hook to register your block. That loads scripts on every admin page, not just where the blocks are. That seems strange to me. What scripts are we talking about? Are they scripts in your block.json? Like your editor script? Let's look at that. It's this line that's doing it? So you're okay. So you're all right. Let me get an understanding here, though. So this is what we're talking about. Check your block and see if it loads on plugins.php. Step by. So I got my block. So how can I check and see if that's loaded? Oh, I'm just going to whatever plugins.php. Okay. Inspect. Sources. Plugins, Gutenberg. It is not. Nothing is being loaded in there. What am I looking for? Network tab. Wait, do I have any JavaScript in this block? I do. Yeah, it's some block variation. But if I look in my sources tab, I can see that I have Gutenberg plugin. I have Gutenberg stuff loaded in here, but nothing from Advanced Query Loop. And it is active. Do I have yours in here? What am I looking for specifically? I'm on 6.5. Yes. Am I on 6.5? I should be on 6.5. Yep, I'm on 6.5. Do I have the latest version of your block? Yeah. 1.2 is 1.26.1 the latest version? Like, so what we should be seeing in here is that, so this script, like, what is this script? Where does that come from? Because that's the handle, that's the script that the handle, like if I look in elements and I search for that, I shouldn't see that. Not there, right? Okay, you can go away, software update. For you, it's loading everywhere. What version of... What the hell is this? Injected. What is this? Oh, it's password manager. Is this the development version of your, like, should I check this out and build? Oh, hold on. Let me deactivate. Okay, let me turn everything else off. I'm going to turn everything else off except your block. And we'll just do that. Deactivate. Okay, let's go back into plugins. All right, and inspect. And my sources. Includes, yeah, see, I'm not getting anything in there. Network, fetch. It's not pulling in anything. Would what change it? Would that change it? Oh, I just disabled Gutenberg because I was wondering if maybe there were some changes in 18 but there's nothing. This shouldn't be happening. You shouldn't. Why fetch? Isn't it a JS file? Well, it's probably making some call to something. Like there's core JS stuff being like files being pulled in, but I like using the sources because you can actually see where things are coming from, but there's nothing coming from I'll call it DB on the page. DB on page load to get settings. Oh, the theme pack. What theme do I have active? I don't even know what theme I have active right now. Okay, let me update to the latest version of 2024. Are you using 2024 as a test theme? Oh, the theme pack for your plugin. Do I have your? Am I using your free version, Kev? Is there a different version than the free version? And this is me trying to get a paid version out of you, just so you know. Did you send me the zip? When did you send me the zip? I'm sure you did. I think this is, yeah. It's either a bug in your pro version, which I don't think I have installed here. But yeah, happy to test it though. But you know what would also be a great way of testing these things? Playground. Come on now. Come on. All right. I'm going to deactivate your fantastic block. By the way, I want to get your block on the developer block. I'm trying to get it in here so when we put some codes in there. You do? Yeah. Nice. That's, yeah, I think I have some of that going on too, but I want to switch to playground. For end-to-end tests? How would that work? I'd be interested to see how you do that, because I know you'll be able to do it. I know you'll be able to do it. Here we go. God, there's a lot of plugins in here. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Okay, so Gutenberg 18.0. We're going to take a look. I spelled it right? Gutenberg 18.0. We're going to take a look at this stuff. So let's see what we got. Okay. Gutenberg 18.0 was released a little while ago. Here's the make post. We're going to do that right now. This is Birgit. Love Birgit. If you don't know Birgit, you have to meet Birgit. Birgit is phenomenal. Okay, so let's see. Site-wide color and typography presets. In addition to style variations, the site view screen is now populated with the controls to set site-wide color and typography choices. This will streamline designers' workflows. So what is that? So let's look. Styles, colors. Oh. Okay, so let's look. Okay, cool. So we go in here, parents. Sorry, my bad. Editor. And go to styles. What do we got? We got colors. We got typography. Looks great. Looks great. Okay, so what is going on here? Maybe there's just things are going a bit weird. Is something broken here? Oh, you know what? Something's breaking something here. I'm just going to just gonna turn it off for a second. Didn't fix anything. Templates. If I go in here, can I do it? Oh, that's weird. Okay. Well, maybe there's something going on with my setup here. Because I should be able to go into styles, and I should be able to see some different I see some things, but not all things. Weird. All right. Well, they're there. Trust me. They work. Featured image. Now media and text with shadow support. Okay. Users can use the media and text block in their templates as it now supports the featured image. That's cool. The design possibilities now open up beyond a column-based layout for single post or page templates. Drop shadow controls, expand design tools. Okay. Data views with improved filter, not updated template index page. The data view screen, which is also prototypes for the future admin list pages, received quite a few intriguing updates. The templates index page now is very flexible in addition to the table view. So what are we saying? So templates. We've got. Oh, okay. So this is it. Pretty cool stuff. I really like this. I really like this, and I'm really excited to see what people are going to do with this. They're going to do some really cool things. Oh, really? Does this open up over here? Oh, I like that. It's pretty awesome. Okay, other notable highlights. The grid layout templates experiments. The grid layout experiments are the next step to consistent responsiveness of post pages and templates. They're evolving quite a bit. If you haven't opened them up, you might want to start doing so now. This release includes a couple of updates. Blocks can now be grouped as a grid via the transform feature with the column start, row controls, and the sidebar. All right, let's look. So, so for the experiments, you don't do that. You go Gutenberg, you go experiments. You do this, and we should be what? Where was that? Grid. Oh, I already have that set up. Okay. So then, just go into my templates here, and I just click on this one, and I click on. Let's see what we got. Group. Sure, let's do that. Now, does this switch into grid? It does switch into grid. Okay. And then there's all these really cool little draggy, droppy things, I think, that you can... This might not be the best example. But in here, you can set the minimum column width. Is it? Oh yeah, and you can drag the columns around, so on and so forth. Anyways, it looks really cool. Really, really cool stuff. This is a pretty small release. Let's look at some of the changelogs. So we got enhancements, core data, update map generate plural names. Data views. Social icons, update medium icon, table block, components, styling. Wait preset header, block API. Update settings label defined by register setting method. Okay. Oh, plugin document setting panel slot in the site editor. Okay, cool. So that's a good one for us. So if you're familiar with that one, it plunks it in the sidebar of standard posts. Let me get there eventually. So if you were to use that, it would show up over here on the right hand side, I think just underneath the summary is where you could insert your own thing. So there's a slot there. So what they're saying is in the site editor, it's being added basically in the same place. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, makes it nice and easy. Now you probably have to import it from the site editor, except, but that's neither here nor there. Whole bunch of bug fixes for the block library, font library bug fixes, interactivity API, backpick fixes. Yeah, test, restores content, restore scope and really promised. Okay. Oh right, yeah. Deprecate a function call. Cited don't display welcome to hybrid theme. Oh, excuse me. Kevin's boring me. Patterns. There's nothing in here that's super crazy. I mean, we just came off a major release, so a lot of this stuff is going to be. Remove block binding icon from list view fixes CSS. Get entity records total pages when per page is not provided. Huh. I didn't know that existed. Documentation, bunch of documentation, typos, invalids. Wait. Let's see. Code quality, schema to config files. Yeah, that's first time contributors. Anybody? Wow, there's a lot. This is great. I know Flex was in here. Flex, there he is. There's Flex right there. Now, Flex, you and I talked about this, and they're not listed as a first-time contributor because technically before this commit that you got, you actually had one. So it's not your first time ever contributing to Gutenberg. But now you're just a regular old, standard, regular contributor. So congratulations for that. That's awesome. And this is an automated process. So it there's nothing that anybody has to do to opt into this. It gets flagged immediately, and yeah. Anyways, let's just see who else we got in here. Anybody? There's Flex. Oh, Crocodoc. What did he just do? That's awesome. He got a little. So Crocodoc, not only did he fix my stuff, but he also just fixed Gutenberg. So awesome work, Crocodoc, Mamaduka. This guy's amazing. If you ever get a chance to meet George in person, you got to meet George. He's phenomenal. He's like my favorite person. And he's got a really funny hat on his Twitter thing. So anyways, I got to hang out with him at WordCamp Asia. It was great. And Kevin, I got to hang out with him. Good guy. And Jeffrey Carandang, who I haven't talked to since that, but man, he's good to see him too. Let's see who else we got. Funny story about Tall Dan. Tall Dan works for Automatic. I don't think I've ever actually spoken with Daniel, but I'm like, why is this thing Tall Dan? And then I saw him in person, and he's like 9 feet tall. So there you go. He's very tall. Yeah, super nice guy too. Smart dude. Anyways, tell the machines to DJ. You know you're at. All right, that's it. That is Gutenberg 18.0. Oh, awesome. Well, I'm yawning. Need more coffee. Whoa. So, what's next? What's up? What's everyone doing? What's everyone working on? I know Flex has been doing all kinds of cool stuff with Playground and getting docs set up and everything. So that's awesome. Kudos to him. This is for you. I think that's it. You're awesome. Yeah, you are awesome. I haven't done this yet. Kevin! I haven't done this. It's the first time. Oh yeah, I did a doc in Gutenberg. Well, get it done, man. Get it done. Get it done, and PR or ping me on it if you want. I can definitely take a look and approve it, merge it. if that's what you need done. Cool. You want to link it? Well, or you don't have to link it if you want to keep it all for yourself. Plugin requires header. A lot of interactivity stuff needs it. A lot of the interactivity API stuff needs it. Yeah, anything that is going to use the interactivity API should use the plugin requires header. So there's a new header in that's been released. So in your plugin, all of these things, you can now do. I think it's what is it requires. It's plugin requires. I think yeah, requires, and then you can list your plugin. So right, so there's that. Also, you probably want to make sure that you set require at least 6.5. That would be probably what you want to do. But it doesn't technically need Gutenberg anymore. It needs 6.5. Now, that being said, we're done here. Oh no. I don't think I need this. I do need 2. Oh, no, do that. Okay, I need to push this stuff up. Yeah, so so the interactivity API was just released with 6.5. So that is now out in the wild. You don't just need Gutenberg to do it. Now, it might also be a good idea in some cases, but yeah, so 6.5 is all you need to do it. Like if I do I have my gallery slider? Let's test that theory actually. So I go into my plugins and I turn off Gutenberg. I have an Apri slider in here somewhere. So here's my gallery slider. I'm just going to activate this. This absolutely requires the interactivity API. So if I come in here and I go, do I have something? I'm going to just gallery slider. Boom. So that's my gallery slider. I'm going to put a cover in there. Do this, update this. I'm gonna go see this page, and it works. I need to put another one in here though. Let's come on, put the gallery slider in. Be a library. Yeah, you look like you're not terrifying at all. Update this, and we'll refresh this, and now we've got. Yep. So this is working. So this all it needs is 6.5. Now that being said, if there's any specific features that have been released, like have been added into say 18. Or Gutenberg 18, then you'll need that as well. But you're definitely going to need 6.5 to get that working. Well, it's not technically wrong, but the requires header plugin is a way of ensuring it's going to work. So anyhow, just realized I have to. I'll do that after. Do I want to do it after? I'm going to do it now so I don't forget about it. And square the. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go. I just did a release. I'm going to do another release, draft a new release. And it's 2.1.3. 2.1. I'm gonna just keep saying point and hitting comma every single time. Choose tag. 2.1.3. I'm going to create that new tag. And in my thing, howdy M Mechanic, how's it going? Good to see you. Welcome to the stream and whatnot. Put that in there, and I'm gonna just hit publish release. There we go. So I got a new release. Oh, it's been a good day. It's been a good day. And look at the contributors. This is awesome. I love it when we get some contributors happening in here. It's fantastic. What was the question? Yeah, so basically, like, at this point, you need 6.5 in order to use the interactivity API, or you need the Gutenberg plugin. But I don't believe the Gutenberg, like, I think things may have been moved. Like, if you're using... That's an interesting thing. I'm not sure. Do they move the stuff out? They would probably move some of the stuff out of the Gutenberg plugin into Core. that they would need, the PHP stuff, right? The packages will always still part of core, or sorry, of Gutenberg. So you may run into a case that like if they've moved some of the PHP stuff out of the Gutenberg plugin and into core, which is what they would do for some of these things, you may run into a problem where like if you're using 6.4 but Gutenberg 18, you still may be missing a PHP function that doesn't exist. But I don't know. Maybe we need to test that theory. But for plugins released today and forever, you that use the interactivity API, the requires header or whatever it's called. I can't remember what it's called. The requires at least header should be set to 6.5. And then if you need features that only Gutenberg provides on top of that, you can also add the required plugins header. That's probably how I would do it. I don't know. To answer your question, I don't know if that would work, but we could test it. Let's test it. Let's see what'll happen. I don't know. Should I test this? Hold on. Stand by. What's that? What's this? Yeah, I would change it to 6.5. I would change it to requires. I would change it to requires at least 6.5. This particular one. I would test it in old version. I would test it. Get a version, install version 6.0 or 6.4 and Gutenberg 18 or latest Gutenberg. See if it still works. Or see if a plugin that uses the interactivity API still works. You're welcome to use my this thing, not that thing that I haven't merged yet, Kevin. You're welcome to use this. Just build it, and it'll work. But I think probably makes more sense to do requires at least instead of that thing, the new header. But anyways, I'm rambling. No, I want to merge it, Kevin. I just haven't looked at it again in a while. It's a better way of doing it, I think. Yeah, and it's a nicer example. Flex, I'm going to comment on this. For the block development examples, in this case, I think it other sites with a plugin. Yes, but that's if that's if it works. That's if it works. What are you talking about? Sorry, I don't follow. If you're trying to use the interactivity API, you need to have 6.5. Unless you can prove that like 6.4 plus the Gutenberg plugin is a way of doing it. That is an edge case though. If people are like, I don't want to update the 6.4 or 5, I only want to use 6.5, 6.4, and then use the thing. Like, I think, especially for WordPress like the block development examples, I would strongly recommend, we always recommend people update to the latest WordPress. So that's what we're going to do, I think. Just set min version on your plugin. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Like, the requires at least header is probably the way to do that better. It's not that you couldn't do that, but that's in this example, this is an example that we're using to show other plugin developers how to target this stuff, and I think it's just better if we use that. I'm just going to comment on that. Yeah, so Kev, what that required plugins thing is meant to do, it's meant to get away from that. It's meant to allow you to say, you need to have this plugin installed and activated before you can activate my plugin. Because previous to that, people would do that. They would be like, they'd check the activated plugins link or list. They'd check to see if a certain function existed, because if it existed, it meant the plugin was installed and active and stuff like that. So that's what the requires plugin header is supposed to do. I'm in the middle of putting a short together for that. Just so you know, because everyone waits for shorts for me. But yes, I would say I'm just gonna add this. Oh my god. No, you can't. You can't show a big add effect function. That's nice. And mechanic. No, you can't. I don't believe you can do versions yet. I think it's just as long as it's installed. I don't believe there's versions, but that's a good question. I will confirm that for sure. For now, it's basically plugin is there. And install. It does. It's kind of neat because you can't deactivate the dependency plugins unless you deactivate your plugin first. It's not that I don't think it's an oversight. I think it's maybe just not there yet. I think it's not quite ready to do that. Let me get back to you on that. Yeah, Composer Ducks. Yeah, it's still early, right? They just introduced it. It took 15 years to get this header. It took about 15 years to get the plugin dependencies thing going in core. As hilarious as that sounds, it took a long time to get it to get it going. But now that we have it, I think probably the next phase will be like, what's the latest ability? I don't know. There's lots of delays. There's lots of reasons, right? Let me hold on here. There's lots and lots of stuff. So you can look at. I've got some links if you want to. Like this is the. Oh wait, no, that's not the merge. There it is. So here's the merge announcement that you can read. Stuff just takes a long time in core. It just takes a long time, and that's really what it comes down to. Like this is the merge announcement that we can, So it's the requirements. It explains that stuff. It'll show you how it all works. Security, accessibility, unit tests. I think somebody. So there's no there's no way for plugin declare depends on So this is like conditional logic. People are already looking for conditional logic and things like that, right? So, yeah. But the is this the track ticket? I think this is the track ticket. Sorry, I've got like a notepad thing open over here with stuff that I don't necessarily want y'all to see. What's your comment? Oh yeah, was your comment on there? There you go. Yeah. There you go. So the track ticket itself was opened. 11 years ago. 11 years ago, and it's there's a lot of history here. So read through it. Like a lot of this stuff comes down to like, what's the right approach? How does it scale? Like, what are we trying to do? What, like there's a lot of conversation that happens, right? Like, yeah, but I mean, it's kind of neat. I saw a bunch of mentions of Composer and stuff. So like, there's just a bunch of stuff that people are trying to figure it out, right? We'll be driving soon. Yeah. So anyways, there's lots of good stuff in here, but this is it's an old ticket. What's the ticket number? Ticket number is 22,000. And what's the latest track number now? So we just go to tickets. Latest tickets. What number are we at here? 60,000. Like, that's a huge number ticket. Yeah. If you try to be rock solid, as people.org would have taken advantage of. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? You have to be able to make sure that people can't abuse the system, that it's easy to work with, that it works everywhere, right? Like, well, you know, so there's a lot of thought, a lot that goes into it, and a lot of strong opinions, to be honest. I mean, like, Core has a set of 7 core committers or whatever it is. I can't remember what that number is now. But they basically, they're the core committers, and they make the final decision, and sometimes they don't agree with each other, and things don't go in, you know, or people are working on other things. Anyways, it's a cool feature. It's a very, very, very cool feature. Simple, but it's going to help a lot of people do a lot of cool things. Here's the T. There's no T. I still believe that themes to plugins dev were more important, but I'm biased. Oh, dependencies. Well, we do have block dependencies. Like, if a block is not installed in a theme, like if you have a theme that introduces a pattern, say for example, and you insert that pattern and it has a block that's not installed, it'll actually tell you that, and allow you to install it in line, I believe. So, yeah, cool. All right. Themes not equals plugins. Yes, themes do not equal plugins. You are correct. Cats do not equal dogs. Just giving you a hard time, Flex. Cool. 12:30. So I'm pretty much done. I don't have anything else I want to talk to y'all about. So, is there anything y'all want to talk to me about? It's the theme's fault. It is the theme's fault. I blame the theme. I blame everyone. Blame everyone. Yeah. A coworker and I were discussing the lack of modern block development course training. Is this feasible or hard due to the speed of Gutenberg development? Is something the DevRel team could get behind? Well, when you say a lack of modern block development course training, are you talking about like front-end masters type of courses where like you pay to learn that stuff? Because there's a lot of resources out there. Durham.wordpress.org is a place where you can do a lot of that stuff. Good friend Jonathan Bossinger does some cool things in the tutorials. Like, you know, so there's a lot of stuff in the tutorials list that you can take a look. Paid or free structured training. Yeah. The block developer handbook, block editor handbook it's got some more structure around it. There isn't a formal course of it. Like, you know, there's tons out there. There's people that are doing them on, you know, you could go to like Udemy or stuff like that, right? But officially endorsed stuff, not really. A lot of what we're doing in the DevRel world and in WordPress is more like what we're doing today is like, I'm streaming, we're talking about stuff, I'll put up videos, we'll do like demos of things. Yeah, blueprints for block development training. Yeah, so I mean, there's I mean, I have my thing, my blockdevelopercookbook.com that you can go and you can follow through the recipes in there, which I haven't added a little while, right? Yeah, it is definitely up to the developer. Now, the developer blog is starting to get more and more robust with that. It's like an official place where people post articles and things, right? There's a lot of development stuff in there. You can, you can go through the categories, and see what's in there. Block variations, HTML, so that we're working hard on trying to, get a lot more of that stuff. But if you're looking for like a course, like lessons and things like that, I know that the team, the folks that are doing that, learn.wordpress.org. They're putting together these like learning paths. Actually, Wes Theron spoke about that at WordCamp Asia. So and I believe it was online. So if you want to, I'm sure you can find it out there in WordPress.tv maybe, or the WordPress YouTube channels so you can see what their plan is. I know they're building out these learning roadmaps, and it's a big deal, right? I mean, it's a lot of work. But yeah, I mean, it'd be great to have official like step-by-step tutorial stuff. But if you go to the block editor handbook, there is like there's some how-to guides. I'm sure we've all seen them. The getting started section is a bit more, it's, oh yeah, no, I'm just saying there's not really like a place where there's like, we're going to teach you how to do WordPress, all WordPress things, right? There's so much to learn. But the sort of the fundamentals around getting started with block development is here. And this is probably the most, it's been recently overhauled to be a bit more accessible and work in a bit more of a bit more of a defined learning path. Yeah, cool, good question. And Mechanic, thanks for asking. And if you have any questions about anything, you can I'm your man. Just reach out to me, and I probably won't know the answer, but behind the scenes I will text Kevin and be like, hey Kev, how do you do that? And then I'll tell you, and I'll take all the credit because that's how I roll. On that note, I'm gonna say bye, and thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you all next week. I don't know what we're gonna work on next week, but I'm thinking maybe block binding stuff. Block bindings might be fun. What do you think? Block bindings? See. Later, everyone. You all are amazing. Talk to you soon.